And we're live. It's Comicsgate tonight. It's Comicsgate. That's what time it is. What up, everybody? Great to see you. Great to see my man StreamYard first in the chat. Wait, no, it's not StreamYard. It's Violet's the first in the chat. StreamYard's not really a person. It's just at the top of the chat. Violet, great to see you. Yes, I did have the wrong link. This is why I'm always thanking Violet. If you're on Twitter, you will see me often say, thanks, Violet. Thanks, Violet. Thanks, Violet, because Violet's always doing stuff that bears appreciation. So I recommend everybody thanks Violet. It's well worth it. Yep, and Grave Robbers is the focus for tonight. We're going to try and raise a fortune for Grave Robbers.
I like the sound of that.
A fortune. A veritable treasure chest. We're going to do the best we can, and that's what this game is all about. But this game is also about we work hard, we try to help each other, we try to make things happen. If they don't happen right away, they will happen in the future. You know, we will work this out. We will work this out. These are numbers that can be hit. And I just want to also say hi to the Froggy G. What up, Froggy G? I hope all things are jumping for you. Leg Kick, great to see you. As always, Dojo Kun Comic. Dojo Kun Comic, good to see you. I karate chop in your direction. Billy, we've been... even when you're not here, we're talking about the Mermaids coloring book. Don't worry about it. There's a strong possibility it could happen. We are thinking about it. And Eric Huffle's always a great night when Eric Huffle shows up. Corey Barton, a man who knows where his Kodor is buttered. Let's just put it that way. We had your brother on. I never had you on. Maybe another Kodor night would be great. How to Draw Comics, great channel. Everybody should subscribe to that one for sure. Eric always backing up everybody and sharing links and helping out. Really, really appreciated. And Corey ought to be a moderator too, because he knows how to work that moderation. When you say only in moderation, you're not referring to Corey. Corey, all the way. Now, Mark Middleton.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing good, man. We've got about 7 days left on the campaign, and I'm getting excited. You're
ready to rock some graves.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
A funny thing was how everybody kind of takes care of everybody in Comicsgate. So I made a decision all right, here's something I can do. I know I can make at least a little contribution. We'll have a little fun show, interview, talk to people, make sure, we're promoting books every night, 9 o'clock. That's what I'm doing. Definitely subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications. Huge help to me. And also, if you would, share out the stream so more people can see it. But I was talking to Simon Sim Poitier, which pretty much everybody in Comicsgate knows Sim, and just yesterday, and scheduling him for one night. And he was like, hey, thanks so much, Adam. Absolutely, I'm there. We're going to do, I'll be there. He's like, by the way, do you think you could check out Grave Robbers for my friend? And I was like, Sim, I already got him. He's on the night before you. So that kind of attitude of everybody's looking out for each other a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't cost anything. Sim knows I wasn't going to get offended. He was just suggesting a campaign to me, and absolutely not. Anybody can feel free to recommend any campaigns to me on Twitter. Is probably the best way to get me. And my Twitter is in the description. And also got to say hi to Dennis. Good vibes. Good vibes indeed. We like the good vibes. And Lord Crackhead 33, not 3B, right? Yeah, thank God, 33. My eyes, man, my eyes. I am not going to be giving up on my quest to stay young forever. Not winning that argument yet, but so far, I haven't gotten the glasses. I've managed to avoid getting glasses, and I do make mistakes and typos, but still.
Hey, there you go, man.
16 again, brother. 16 again.
It's one step you haven't taken.
Grave Robbers. All right. So you're Mark Middleton.
Yep.
This is Grave Robbers. This is your first campaign?
It is my first campaign. Yeah. I've worked on it for quite a while. I wrote the original script, I think probably 3 years ago. I've been, before the campaign launched, I tried marketing for about a year, trying to get it out, on Twitter, on, a couple of YouTube shows, stuff like that, trying to get the word out and trying to get people to, check it out. So yeah, it's been a ride. It's been a fun ride.
Yeah.
And now now we're in the home stretch. So
Yep, you're in the game. Big Dick Murphy. I like
yeah.
that name. The art's very cool. Look at this. Now, what's your part of this? Are you the writer and artist?
Writer and creator. I'm
Okay,
also doing the letters on the
nice.
book. Passion for Drawing is the artist, and
Oh, Passion's drawing this?
yeah, and he's done a hell of a job. That piece right there was done by Preston Acevedo, though, and it was
Yeah,
colored
Preston's
by
really good.
and it was colored by Oliver Lee Pace, and I mean,
Hmm.
together they did an incredible job on that piece.
Okay.
I was blown away by it.
This owl's eyes are very penetrating.
Oh yeah,
I feel like he owes me a dinner after this or something.
Yeah, man.
Let me know what you think in the comments below. Does this owl owe me a drink or a dinner or some sort of present, chocolates maybe, for those penetrating eyes? Let me know. Yeah, this really jumped out at me. You know, when I make the art, and I'm not, you know, in this game as a designer or whatnot, but when I'm preparing art for the notification for the stream, I like to just find like, well, what really jumps out at me the most? And yeah, this art of Preston's really kind of struck me, and I was like, I think that's going to help get people interested. Very nice.
Yeah, and that's going to be the rear cover of the book. So that anytime you back a book, you're going to get that on the back cover.
Get that slapped on the back cover. And Preston Acevedo, he's been working in Comicsgate for a little more than a year. He's done some great projects. He's involved in a lot of people's projects, and you know, something that he does is definitely going to hit really big at some point. And you know, this could be it, or it could be another project. But yeah, it's very cool to have him on your project. I like your other artists as well. Passion.
Yeah,
he is really good. I've talked before.
His style. I've said this a lot. His style reminds me of like a Bernie Wrightson meets Midoriya. You know, it has like a cartoonish style to it, but it also has like the detail and depth that Bernie Wrightson had. It might not be as you know, heavy on the line work, but I mean, the detail that he put into the wood panels and stuff on some of the pages, there you can see the grain of each panel of wood. You know, he does a hell of a job, and I think that you know, his work on his book Doom Fate was phenomenal. But you know, he's really taken it to the next level with this comic. I mean, it's just fantastic.
I'm pretty sure I had him on for Doom Fate, and Doom Fate has this scene in it with all this snow. The characters are in the snow.
Yeah,
and people that watch this with me every night and hang with me every night, and thank you for doing that, know that I sort of have a thing for people drawing snow, which I'm starting to realize I didn't know that about myself before, because Graham Nolan was on the other night. We were looking at some snow in Chenoo, and like, I don't know. I think there's so much you can do to make snow look awesome and magical.
It is pretty cool. It definitely leads into a lot of really cool effects and stuff like that.
I guess it depends on the artists, obviously, how they choose to portray it. Because you could like just pen and ink it, and maybe not that big a deal. Not a lot of snow in this book. This has a Western motif.
That said, there is snow in this book.
There is snow. Passion snow?
Yeah. Passion's bringing some snow into the book. Within the first couple of pages, we have a character named Richard, and he is one of the main antagonists of the book. And you're going to get a little bit of backstory from him. And it doesn't start out in the Old West. It starts out, on the old continent, back towards Lithuania. So we're gonna get some interesting backstory for him. He's a pretty cool character, and I think people are really gonna like him. So, yeah.
So you do have snow in this. I mean, basically, guys, you have this shooting and snow. You got the Preston Acevedo thing going on. You got the passion art. How could you say no to something like this? You can't. You get the snow. Either snow or Preston would have been enough.
Either way, either or, they're equally.
I feel like I have a relationship with this owl. I feel like I have to ask Preston, like, where did you get the reference for that owl? How do I get that owl?
He probably Googled something and saw that and was like, that's the owl.
I don't know. He might know that owl.
He's
like, actually, Adam, you picked out an owl that's possessed that lives
there you go, man,
across the street and died like 10 years ago or something. All right. So what makes you choose like the old, like what? All right. So I'm curious with the Old West angle, but we know, first of all, format wise, 36-page full color book.
Right.
It's a graphic novel. Saddle stitch, perfect bound. You're not sure yet?
I think it's going to be saddle. We have some more pages that are going to be added on in if we hit some stretch goals, when we go in demand. But yeah, that's what we're looking at right now.
So 36 pages of story. It's got some extra pages as well, or is that the whole book, 36 pages?
No, that's 36 pages of story. So the cover page isn't included in that. Any extra like thank you pages or credits or anything like that's going to be in the book. Those are going to be extra additional pages. So it's probably going to end up being 44 pages total.
You can't come up with an extra 4 to make it 48?
Well, we have a couple of extra stories for
under consideration. It's under consideration.
They've been written, but they
haven't.
You know why?
I just bring it up now. You have a package design background. You and I were on Phil's channel, Page One Comics, the other night, and we were talking about grave robbers, and you were explaining something that I just thought was like really, really interesting. Because guys, one of the things about Comicsgate is usually there's other work that we do, and not just making comics, or we have an interesting background. I had Graham on the other night, Graham Nolan, and he was talking about his new project, Alien Alamo, which we do have a sign up for in the description. And I love the story he was talking about. And I was like, a lot of times in CG, we're not as focused on story. There's like a lot of high concept and visual impact. I'm really kind of impressed with you as a writer. Have you written anything else before? And he's like, well, yeah. He's like, the first story I sold to DC, I wrote and drew. I was like, oh, I did not know that. That was like back in the 1980s. But your background in package design, I thought was very interesting. So how did your package design background kind of impact how this project is presented and all that? Am I remembering correctly? You do have a package design background, right?
I'm not sure. Was that that might have been,
could have been a different guy. All right.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I thought
it's hey man, it's on me. It's on me. That was something that I remembered wrong. All right. So Boomery attacked me for that one. That's hey, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So finally I was wrong about something. No, it was someone I forgot who it was then. So bad. That's bad on me. That's kind of funny. Hey, that happens. How did you get to start publishing this being kind of like your first comic? Because have you made comics before, or this is the first one?
Well, I've definitely written comics before. They just haven't been published. The thing is that I've always loved to write. I've been writing since I can remember. I used to make comic books and stuff like that in high school with friends and stuff. Drawing them, writing them, stuff like that.
A lot of us did.
Yeah, it's just something you did when you were a teenager, and everybody loves comics, so why not do it? But with this, I've always been a fan of horror. I've always been a fan of westerns. My dad was a big movie western fan, and we would sit and watch movies. He'd go to Blockbuster and rent a couple, and he'd rent horror movies. And my dad didn't really have a strict movie policy, so when my mom would go to work on third shift, we'd end up watching movies like Warlock and McClintock and stuff like that. So it's just kind of naturally merged a taste into
we used to watch that scramble porn. You watch normal stuff. There's other stories about that, but that's interesting. Can I make a campaign suggestion? I think that might actually put some dollars on this.
Like
I'm trying to not look at that owl. I'm like blocking it out with my hand. If you crop this image and use this, like horizontally, get a good shot of her, something really that's flattering to her, most of her body and head, and you added it to the image gallery at the top, I think that would be good. Because
actually a really good idea.
Yeah, because when people are scanning through campaigns, you're going to have this advantage that you're ending in 7 days. It's an advantage because the algorithm will start to promote you more. So when people are just kind of scanning through IGG, and if they see that purple hot girl and like, I don't know, like I'll just buy this because there's a purple hot girl involved. Like that's enough for some people.
Yeah,
because
that's a good point.
One of the things with College of the Dead book 1 to book 2 was we had a football player colored by Kyle Ritter. He's an amazing colorist. Everyone loves Kyle. People like to keep a complete collection of his work. And when you see this and he's got a zombie head and he's running around, that's great. Like, but when we did this, sales increased. This girl getting eaten, for the second book, It increased a lot. And then we had a couple of other like hottie covers or whatever. Doesn't hurt since you have the art.
Sure.
So just in terms of the presentation of it,
no, that's definitely a great idea.
Because it's yours, so you may as well you get a chance to use it.
Well,
so how did you get into the West? Are you like a Old West passionate person? There's some people that are just like super into that.
It's funny. Like I said, my dad was my dad would rent a lot of Western movies. My grandpa liked Westerns and stuff. But I spent about 4 years in Colorado when I was really young. And they have they still out there, they still have a very cowboy-esque mentality. So it's pretty cool going out there because you would be up in the mountains and it would be forest and stuff like that, but you'd come out and it'd almost be desert. And in a lot of ways there, it still had that Old West kind of feel to it. We went to like Garden of the Gods, the Royal Gorge, stuff like that out there, tourist stuff when we were out there. But and it always had like this prospector, Old West kind of vibe to it. I actually went on a field trip, I think, to a mine, like a gold mine that was that actually got mined out in like the 1870s or something like that. It was pretty wild. It was cool, but stuff like that.
Who we could talk to about that? I had John Dillard on the other night, and John like goes and he pans for gold. And he goes on adventures. Yeah, it's like, what the? It very interesting. And of course, he talks with a very deep voice and smokes cigarettes. And he's interesting. People like John. John's cool.
Right,
John Dillard. What's his campaign? It is the Buckler. I was going to say the Heckler. It's not the Heckler. It's the Buckler. It is the Buckler. I wasn't even joking. I was like, just remembered it wrong. But he's very into that gold stuff. So you guys probably talk about that. All right. So you're definitely into the Old West thing. And now, so this has a major supernatural element to it.
Oh yeah. Right,
it's not just my imagination.
No, it's
like the package.
It's definitely a horror.
That was my imagination. Never gonna live that one down. That's all right. So how does the supernatural element come into the story? Can you kind of give us some of the story?
Well, yeah, sure. Basically the grave robbers, they all have their own background that kind of leads them to one another, but the grave robbers themselves are bounty hunters that hunt the supernatural things like ghosts, goblins, devils, demons, stuff like that. Witches, anything that goes bump in the night, they want to put a bullet in. So that's what they do. They go and they kill whatever people can't kill themselves, and they drag it back to, cash it in for some gold. But
like a Ghostbusters kind of thing.
Kind of like Ghostbusters, but with guns instead of proton packs. And, well, I guess the ghosts would still be ghosts.
Yeah. So are they able to, you can shoot these, like, were they like demons or what are these things that they're fighting?
These are just your garden variety humans. Okay. They go into a saloon looking for what leads them to this little saloon town. It's an old mining town in Arizona territory called Hellhole, and they are going to.
That's the name of the town, huh?
Yeah, well, it was originally called Hal's Hold, but the townspeople scribbled out on the sign Hal's Hold, and they rewrote Hellhole above it.
Oh shit, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's it's a pretty cool little town. It's filled with it's a decrepit old town filled with outlaws, and they go into an outlaw bar looking for this killer that they've been tracking. They're trying to collect a bounty on this guy.
With a hat?
Well, they're looking for somebody. They don't know.
Okay, exactly. Don't give it away yet. Yeah.
Right. So it's basically somebody's been killing people, and there's been a bounty out and nobody can quite figure out who it is. So they've been, tracking them, and kind of the edge that they have is that Big Dick Murphy has this kind of werewolf aspect to him. So
how did you pick the name Big Dick Murphy?
Well, he's a really tall guy, and his name's Richard.
Okay.
What'd you think it was?
I don't know. Could be anything. Could be anything.
No, I'm just kidding around.
All
I
right.
just thought it was funny, and I thought it was
Yeah,
kind of
no, it's a cool name. It's a cool
yeah,
name.
I thought it was kind of a middle finger to the industry.
SJWs, yeah. Yeah, well,
Because
hey, it's your book. It could be anything.
exactly.
It's catchy. It's cool. It's like, oh, Big Dick Murphy. What's his story?
Yeah, and people seem to really get a kick out of it. So I like
Yeah.
that. I really like that. And he has this kind of werewolf thing to him, so he can kind of sniff him out. So he's been kind of tracking him and following his trail to this town.
Wait a
So
minute. So, all right. So, how many grave robber people are there? There's like 3.
3. Yeah, there's
Okay.
Big Dick Murphy,
Yep.
Amanda Lynn, and Waylon Louder.
Now, do all 3 of them have supernatural powers, or is that a little bit of a secret? You have to wait and find out.
All 3 of them have supernatural powers.
All
Big
right.
Dick Murphy is a werewolf. He got into a fight with what was called a skinwalker, which is a Navajo witch that can they can shapeshift. And in the process of killing it, he got its blood in one of his wounds, and it infected him. So now, anytime he gets angry, he kind of wolfs out, kind of like the Hulk, but with a werewolf twist.
That's cool.
Yeah,
you don't usually see. I've never heard of that before. And I think it's a great fit for a supernatural character like that. Why not?
Yeah, and I really liked I like werewolves, and he kind of has that vibe to him. He's a big guy. He's kind of hairy anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Big Dick Murphy.
exactly.
All right. And you got this hottie over here, Amanda
Yep.
Lynn.
Amanda Lynn. She is the product of a botched pact between her mother, who was a witch, and a demon who was trying to get revenge on the people who killed Amanda's father. She was pregnant with Amanda at the time, and basically cursed her unborn child, which was Amanda. So when Amanda was born, she was born with these claws and these razor sharp teeth and purple and red eyes, pale porcelain white skin. She looked like a demon, like
I
a
like
demon
the white
child.
skin. The white skin's cool.
Yeah, and they really Preston did a really good job getting that, or I guess Oliver did a really good job doing that in the piece that they did. It's just porcelain, and
is that the purple one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, very light.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. It's almost vampire-like, which is kind of what I was going for. It's pretty cool looking.
There's that creepy owl again.
Man, it's good. It just stares you down.
Yeah,
it stares you down. It moves.
It does. It owes me big time. Taking advantage. All right, so Amanda now. So what is her gig? She's not a werewolf, obviously. She's demony.
Yeah, she's kind of a warped human, twisted by hell. She's she whenever she does she also can teleport, and whenever she kind of does that kind of thing, she gets these what I've been calling her horns. That was actually Passion's one of Passion's contributions to the character.
Nice.
Was like this hell energy that kind of looks like horns around her head. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool little touch to the character. I really like it.
Very interesting. Did he do the color as well, by the way?
No, that's Eugene Bative. He did the colors on Magic Cop. He's doing the colors on Magic Cop 2, and he did it on the Lost Pages as well.
Yeah, Phil and I were just talking about him last night. He did some interesting things for them.
Yeah, he's done a really good job so far on the pages. I'm a really big fan of his work. He's done an incredible job.
All right, so that's our buddy Amanda, and then the third and final for now, grave robber, is Waylon Louder.
Waylon Louder.
Waylon Louder. All right, Waylon Louder.
Yeah, so
he's also wanted.
Yeah, he is kind of a cutthroat. He's one of the grave robbers, but he's definitely not a good guy. Have you ever seen the show Firefly? He's kind of like Jane Cobb, in his later years. If he was in his 80s or something like that. He's a dark guy. He's a cutthroat. He'll slit your throat and not think twice about it. He started out as a grave robber. He started off as a bank robber, and after the bank robbery, he decided, what the hell, I'm keeping the money for myself, so I'm just going to shoot the guys that are in my posse, and he did that. And
you can't really trust when you rob banks.
Yeah,
Guys, this is just like a public service thing. When you rob banks, don't trust the other guys.
ever.
Not just because of this, just from life experience, you can't trust dishonest people.
If
You
they're willing to
really
rob a
can't.
bank, they're willing to rob you.
Exactly. And they could
Exactly.
be dangerous. They could be
Exactly.
dangerous.
Exactly. So
Um,
yeah, he his powers basically stem from a curse. One of the people that was in his posse was an Apache shaman, and he cursed him to be as dry as the desert. So what happened was all of the water in his body was just vaporized,
hmm,
and it left him mummified, and his skin is literally just like almost dried dirt. He's like a mummy.
wow.
But
A
he's
terrible
able
way
to.
to live.
What's that?
A terrible way to live.
Oh yeah. Well, and his joints grind against one another, the ball and socket, all of that. He feels every motion. He's constantly in agony, but he can't like he can't die though. So one of the
Now,
things
now, now I feel bad for him.
well, don't feel too bad.
But you know what?
He's a killer.
That's good writing, though. When one of the ways to get people to like an anti-hero or to even like a villain is to show them suffering. I've been studying writing a lot because I got to start writing soon on some of my own stuff. Just gotta do it. Put it off too long. But yeah, when you show, like with Tony Soprano and The Sopranos, for example, they show that he's sick, that he's passing out. People feel bad for him. They show that he's not in control of his family.
Right.
And they show that his mother hates him, and wanted to kill him as a child and also as an adult, even. So it really tempers when you see a character doing evil things and doing bad things. When it's like, well, but they're sick, and we even kind of see kind of why they're sick, and they're not even really getting to enjoy what they're the benefits of whatever the hell they're doing, the benefits of their crime. So crime is not paying for them. But at
Absolutely.
least when you see that side of like people suffering, or you see them, another thing is showing them caring for someone else. So Tony Soprano caring for his family, which he definitely does. It gets people to feel sympathy for and empathy for the character, even though they're freaking murderers. So it's an interesting trick. It gives them extra dimension. So I feel for Waylon, and I hope things turn out okay for him.
Well, one of the reasons why he joined the grave robbers was he wants Big Dick to kill him eventually, to figure out a way to kill him, because
the character or different kind of Big Dick?
he wants Big Dick Murphy to figure out a way
to kill him,
to end his life, to end the curse, because he can't die. He can't actually.
Even if he doesn't eat.
No, he won't die. He doesn't eat. He doesn't drink. Well, he drinks. He drinks a lot actually in the book.
Can he
But it's
fall into
mostly
a
booze.
volcano?
That actually I didn't think about, but we'll see what happens. But
I hope
actually,
he does. He'd probably suffer a lot in there.
he
That
would
we
probably suffer, definitely. But there is one. This isn't in the book. It's a little bit of backstory. Big Dick Murphy actually straps a bundle of TNT to him and blows him up, and he reforms into
Terminator.
yeah, a lot like the
All
Terminator.
right, I have a
actually.
suggestion. Chat, tell us what you think of this idea I had. Shows because I'm working on my writing now. I have to be extra creative. A tickle fight gone wrong. Could that kill him?
A tickle fight gone wrong. I don't know. I'd have to sit and think about that.
Okay.
One. That is not.
Call Passion. Call
I
Passion.
will. I will.
Call your development team together. Oliver, see what these guys think, because that's a possibility. So
yeah.
his power is that he's in tremendous pain constantly.
His power is that he cannot die, and he can cast off his skin and flesh to desiccate the people around him, to suck the fluid out of their bodies. In one of the pages, we show that happening.
Damn it, that's pretty creepy. So there's 3 of them, but now he's one of the grave robbers. Who is this dude?
That is Richard. He is one of the one of the antagonists. He is one of the main antagonists. He's a pretty bad guy. He's a 611-year-old former crusader, and he is the leader of a cult, a satanic cult that's in Hellhole, with a similar goal to the grave robbers.
Okay,
and that's where they butt heads.
All right, so they are enemies, kind of.
Absolutely enemies.
Rivals,
yeah.
Okay. That is a really interesting looking character design. Passion did a really great job on this.
Yeah, it looks phenomenal. When I originally wrote the character has no eyelids, he has no lips, no nose, and he has no ears. He's literally burned. He's covered in third-degree burns from the top of his head to the bottom of his
These some miserable characters.
Well, yeah, I guess they are.
I mean, what's her name? She seems like she's doing all right.
Yeah, she's all right. She's all right. Yeah,
she's doing okay
for now.
These other guys have problems. Richard.
He like I said, he's 611 years old. He was a former Knights Templar, and
I get that owl. Like,
man, it's just staring in your soul, man.
It's haunting.
It's haunting. It is haunting. That's a great word for it. It's haunting.
Well designed.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm really like, this is top notch design work. This is among like this is very good stuff. I would say, like, just looking at campaigns, looking at a lot of different projects, it's very cool. It'd be interesting to see him do like turnarounds, the character from different perspectives and stuff like that, and see what he would do and what accessories he might give them. But nicely done.
Right. Yeah.
Obviously, you guys are doing this together, so I always take credit for everybody's work, so you may as well too.
Yeah, that's one joke that me and Edwin have when we talk about it. Always take credit. You're the writer. Always take credit.
Which Edwin in the Ace?
Yeah.
I got to talk to him too. He's got another project. He's got a project floating around out there.
Yeah,
I'm very happy for him because he's been around a long time. He's another guy who supported me a lot early on, just like Sim. So I really appreciate those guys. They made it so easy to be involved in CG. They really did.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and his book, The Ace, looks phenomenal. I can't wait to check that out.
Yeah, I've been seeing some cool art. He's got some Donald DeLay art in there. It's very cool. I did a secret interview. It's not that big of a secret, but I did an interview with Donald DeLay when I was doing college day, graduation day, because Donald was going to start doing videos and stuff. And this is sort of like completely unrelated. I mean, it can't be much more unrelated because even Don DeLay didn't even do anything for Grave Robbers. But it's kind of funny because he was going to have me interviewed by his puppet character, which actually is really him. It's just the character that he plays when Donald DeLay does the puppet. So I had no idea, but it turns out it is. And he gave me a list of questions to respond to. And I dressed in a suit, which I've never done for CG. It's a whole interview of me answering his puppet's questions. And I didn't have time, I guess, to execute on it, unfortunately. But it was hilarious. It was a lot of fun to do. I have to do something again like that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. CGS are just like the tie in there is just that CG is fun and everybody's so great. Even if people have little falling outs and, here and there or whatever it is, some people do, some people do whatever, like mostly like, who cares? You just want to like help each other make books and, the work will speak for itself. The success will speak for itself. There's that one, the Ace.
Oh yeah, there is. He learned that from Stan Lee. There you go.
I don't know what he learned from Stan Lee.
Taking credit.
Oh, taking credit. Yeah. Be like Stan Lee. Works for Stan Lee. Well, I do it too. What's funny is, in my case, where it's like Adam posts College of the Dead, Adam posts the Mermaids, it was a fight to get me to put my name on stuff because I did this other book, 500 Things My Cat Told Me. The reason why I put my name on everything I created and then collaborated with people to do, the reason why I do it to this day, and I'll always do it, is because my friend Jim Salerkrupp really pushed me to do it. We would have dinners every Wednesday, whatever, and he worked right under Stan Lee for years. He was like very close to Stan Lee. He even left Marvel when Stan Lee went and did Stan Lee Media. And Jim was very big about self-promotion. He's always been big about self-promotion. So Jim was like, no, you got to put your name at the top. I would show like a printed prototype of a book or something. He'd be like, it looks good, but I don't see your name at the top. I'm like, Jim, it's, people are buying it for the idea. He's like, no, you really, you're enthusiastic and you really should always have your name at the top. And then he had like multiple stories, like Alice Cooper and what the hell was that artist's name? One of his favorite artists, not a comic artist, Andy. I can't believe I'm not thinking him. The guy who made the Campbell soup cans, and then
Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol, yeah, he loved
Yeah.
Andy Warhol's work and his just obscureness. And he was like, you really, I'm like, all right, Jim, I promise I always will. So whenever I won't even send him something to look at if it doesn't have my name prominently displayed on it. But he's got a good point of like, it helps you really to identify with your work and to really take pride in what you're doing. And if you're not willing to put yourself all over what you're doing and stand up for what your work is, then don't do that work. Then don't even bother. Don't be involved. But Stan Lee, can you imagine Stan Lee in today's media? In today's YouTube and direct to consumer opportunities, and we should all be doing it. And since I've had like Adam posts this project, Adam posts that project, I've seen some of my CG friends do it, more than I think they would otherwise have done. And good for them. And they should. It's like we are our comics, and if one is more successful than another, that's fine. It is what it is. But sure. it really does put the extra pressure on, because like even making the Mermaids comic, I made that years ago and I was really passionate about making it, but I didn't write the whole thing. It wasn't like my passion dream to do that book that I like worked on exclusively telling my story, or a story I've had in my head for years to do it. It's not the way I produce stuff. So even when I talk about it, I can talk about the story and what it's about, but it's not really from something inside of me. It was an idea I had. So it's really fascinating in the CG community to meet other creators, see how they feel about their work, and where all this comes from. And your story, to get back to your project, this passion for the supernatural and also for the Old West, and to kind of see it merge together. It's very interesting. It's cool. It's obviously a very personal project to you.
Yeah. It is. It's something that I
gotta get that owl out of there.
I actually, the thing is that, like I said, I've always written, and one of the characters that nobody's seen yet, is actually a character that I originally created. I originally started writing him close to 10 years ago for another project. It was just something, it was just a character that I was kind of scribbling out and drew, and I put a background to him, and I was like, what, this doesn't really work for this. And, I started putting this together. I got Big Dick Murphy, and, I was like, well, what if I put that story into this story? And then it just kind of merged into one thing. And that was, like I said, like 3 years ago when I wrote it. But
now these grave robber guys, are they really grave robbers? They're really out to so our thing is we want to go and rob some graves.
No, they the media at the time has labeled them the grave robbers, and they actually really hate the name. They hate it a lot, and they get into fights with people who call them the grave robbers. Because it pisses them off so much. Basically, the idea is that there's a lot of skeptics in the community who don't believe that they actually do what they do, and they are trying to make them out to be like they're frauds. Like if they bring in like a ghost or a demon or something like that,
okay,
there's a newspaper writer that's going to come into play much later who coined the term grave robbers, and
it's fake news.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Fake news. How dare they? How dare they?
That's the thing. Is like
robbers.
They bring in a witch, and the guy's like, I don't, so what? She's just a woman. What's the difference between her and anybody else on the street? You guys are a bunch of liars, and it's a big thing.
How do they subdue their monsters?
They put a lot of bullets in them until they stop moving.
Okay.
If it's more sophisticated than that, then they usually have somebody that helps them, or they figure out a way to make it to where they can put bullets into it, or they just rip it apart, like you see Big Dick Murphy doing right there.
Now, who hires them to do this?
It's all bounty work and stuff like that, like rewards and stuff that they it's like a word of mouth kind of thing. Like they hear, oh, okay, well, somebody's been they've been finding corpses that have been ripped apart, or strange rituals that have been happening.
I thought you might have said narwhal. Narwhal just like, well, I'm gonna give you a couple pieces of gold. You go get me a witch. I think he would do it. I think he would do it. he might. His new campaign is going pretty good.
Right on. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll talk to him. I'll see if we can arrange it. Very cool. Okay, so they are bounty hunters. They are not grave robbers.
Right.
You know, which reminds me, another CG reference. They could be like not grave robbers, like not Daredevil.
Oh yeah,
Not Daredevil. Crossover right there.
Yeah, we'll do that one cover. We'll do not grave robbers, and it'll be like Big Dick painting over it, pissed off or something like that.
There you go. Yeah, they are not, because they're not grave robbers. How dare they? How dare they call them grave robbers? All right, let's take a look at the tiers. I'm seeing reasonably priced. So the Grave Robbers main book is 36 pages plus, but it's going to probably be at least 40 pages.
Right.
All right, $18.
Yeah, and you get a free Richard trading card. Sim is actually going to be doing that card. That comes with every book. If you buy any, if you buy any tier that has a book with it or multiple books with it, every single one of them will come with a trading card.
Cool. You know what I'm going to do while we're at it, because John Dillard is a pretty loved figure. I'm going to just invite John and see if he wants to tell his talk gold with you, because people seem to really like that, and it adds to your aesthetic a little bit.
Sure.
It's fun too. So we'll see if John's available to talk gold. I have more gold questions for him too. Yeah, it was really, I'm like, how are you so interesting? He's like a very interesting person. Like all these other things he does. Yeah, if he wants to talk gold. We didn't discuss it at all. What the heck? Just in case. Okay. So we'll see if he shows up. All right. So on to the next tier. Do you have any gold tiers?
I do not have any gold tiers. I have the 2 books tier, which is
books.
You get a little bit of a discount with that, but the shipping is exactly the same as it is for 1 book, so you're getting an even bigger.
Oh, cool! Free shipping, really? So
it's not free shipping; it's the same shipping as 1 book. So 2 books.
Pay shipping and handling on 1 book and get another book with free shipping and handling, but you'll have to pay for the other book, but you are getting a little discount.
Exactly.
I understand. I can follow it.
Yeah.
I may not know where I am, or I may be in fear of that owl, but I know what I'm talking about, except for the package design thing.
Yeah.
Pick a character head sketch. You can get a head sketch for $60 from Passion for Drawing.
Yeah, and there's no shipping on that either. You can do an add-on to add on a book to it. So if you wanted to get the character sketch and a book, but you didn't want to do 2 separate orders, you can just buy that afterwards, and that'll be bundled up all together.
And then you can cheat on the shipping of the regular book.
Well, you still have to pay the shipping on the book, but the head sketch won't have shipping.
There's got to be a way around this. I don't know. We'll see. No, that's neat. Oops, I clicked it the wrong way. All right, so pick a character head sketch. So can it be any one of your characters? Can it also? Yeah, he'll draw anything, right?
Yeah, I think we'll work it out. It's kind of an email thing. We'll
topless anime girl.
I don't know if Passion will be cool with that.
I think he likes girls, Passion.
I know he likes the ladies, but I don't know. I don't want to speak for him if he'll draw something like that.
We'll see. He may have an upcharge. He may not. Worth trying to find out.
Definitely, he draws some pretty ladies. The lead in his Doomfey books.
She's hot, but no, I don't think he does nudie. I haven't seen him doing nudies, but maybe he would.
I don't know.
It's worth a shot.
Exactly.
Retailer pack 5 comics for $75.
So that's 5 comics plus 5 trading cards, and it's all the same shipping as for 1 book.
And you sold one.
That I have.
Let me ask you a question. Why are people buying 2 books for? You're getting some people buying 2 books. It's very good.
Yeah, it's a great deal. It's $18 for 1 book. So
I mean, it's just straightforwardly, it's a good deal because the second book does ship free.
Right.
The discount on the second book is not like a wild discount. It's $1. But it's very cool that people are like, you know what? This is a cool project. I want to. I think it's I think people are doing it because they want to support you more. They see it's a really cool project. So it's like, if you're going to buy one book, you know what? Instead of just giving the guy $18 plus shipping, give the guy $35 plus shipping. It's not that much more money. You wind up with 2 books. So that's a cool way to, give you some extra bucks, because 18 as a featured tier is a little bit low, so you have to sell a lot to make some cash.
That's true. But at the same time, you get 2 books, so you get one to read, one to, save, or you can give another to a friend.
Yeah.
That's the way a lot of people have been saying.
I like it. I'm glad to see people responded to it. I think it's a good deal. I think it's a good deal. Good straight deal. And I like this character sketch stuff too.
Yeah.
His art's really good. I wonder what other projects we'll see from him in the future. Probably a lot of good stuff.
Oh yeah.
All right. And you sold a retailer pack, which is great too. So original art. Oh, you haven't sold this yet.
Not yet. We have 6 pages that we're going to be selling. The 2 single pages that you see on the campaign are for sale. They're 2 of the 6 that are up for sale. You'll be able to pick them. We'll be sending you an email, and it's first come, first serve. Cool. But all of them are going to be action pages. All of them are going to be, like big pages. It's not going to be like them just like sitting around talking or something like that. Mm-hmm. So you'll be able to pick, and see, the pages that you want to buy before you actually get them sent, before we send them out to you. So very cool.
It's a great.
Yeah, they're only $200.
Yeah, it's really reasonable.
Also, no shipping.
You sold some sketches or no? Yeah, you did sell sketches.
Yeah, I've sold
8 head sketches. Right. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Maybe there's something in between where people are like, well, I'll spend 100, but I don't want to spend 200. I don't know what the people's attitudes are. You can always ask people. John can tell us the gold story.
Here I am.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you're louder than me.
Yeah. See, I like to talk really loud as soon as I get into the room.
Well, it's fucking deafening. But it's great to see you, brother. Great to see you.
I heard somebody saying something about
eyes are exploding out of his head. How cool is that? Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, we were talking gold. I'm like, gold? Let me see if I can get John to jump in for a minute.
I like gold. If you have gold, you should give it to me.
Well, he knows where there is some gold. So I think this is also something we can talk about. Maybe we can find it, take his gold, and you know what happens to him. Mm-hmm. Nothing bad. We kill him.
He'll get found eventually.
The Ryan Cardinal, which used to have a different name relative to your project, I think. But I used to tattoo my underwear drunk sometimes, only with friends, though. That is good to know. Everyone be careful if you're using doing tats when you're drunk. It can be Definitely. Dangerous business. We were just going through the tiers, and then we got to talk some gold. That's the original art tier, Preston Acevedo art. Also really great art. I don't know if you noticed this or not yet, John Dillard, but I am very worried about this owl. Those eyes are far too penetrating. And it's coming up a lot during this stream. As I said, I think that owl owes me a dinner now or something like that.
He's describing what Twitter pated means.
I feel violated by that owl. Also, you can get an original double page art for $500.
Right. And I'm sorry. That page is also on the campaign, so you can actually take a look at that before you buy it. That's actually the next page, I believe, that we have.
You know who that reminds me of? Big Dick Murphy. That wolf.
That is Big Dick Murphy.
And that's why it reminds me of him.
There you go.
There you go. I'm catching on. Takes a little while, but I catch on eventually. Double page art. Yeah, art is very you get the right person at the right time on the right campaign. Bing, bang, boom, it works. And with me, I have a hard time. I buy some of the original art from the comics that I produce, but I can find myself never feeling comfortable selling it. Get drawn in. 3 out of 3 sold. What is that telling you?
That I should add more drawn in.
Yeah, and maybe bump it up.
Yeah.
So I was on with Sim and another guy who shall remain nameless, and we were on a live stream, and they were showing me. They're like, "Yeah," and this is very new in the game. They're like, "Hey, Adam, in CG, one of the things we like to do with these drawn-in tiers," and one of his tiers was you get to be his vampire assassin character. I forgot the guy's name. Sims character. He's like, well, you get to be that character, or you get to be that character killing, or you get killed by that character. That's what it was. So you're getting killed by that character, and you're like a werewolf, I think, or something like that. And somebody paid like $400 for that. And I was like, yeah. I was like, what the? Yeah, I'll ask him about it tomorrow night. Sim's going to be on tomorrow night.
Yeah, because you got the whole wrong idea here. I mean, what this should tell you is that you should raise the cost of the get drawn in tier. Don't make more work for yourself, just make more money.
Yes. See, this is the guy that knows where the gold is.
Well, there you go.
But he had different tiers. Like you could just be in one panel, like whatever, or you could be like in this sequence when you're getting murdered as a werewolf or something like that. If you want the more complicated draw-in tier, you're going to pay bigger bucks for that. So in your case, it might be you just different things that are in the story that are going on that are priced to be different things. If you want to get that complicated with it, but see, people really seem to like that stuff. Let's see what Sim says tomorrow night. If you keep an eye out and let's see what he says. So those are the tiers. Everybody should back Grave Robbers with everything you can. It's got 7 days left. And if for some reason you don't get to the full goal, you will launch this again, of course.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure when exactly we're going to launch just yet, but,
well, you're not necessarily going to launch. We'll see because there are 7 days left. So you guys can back it. Obviously, it's a fixed goal, which means that if for some reason, God forbid, if it doesn't happen or we get to 5,000 where we need to be, which you probably will. But if for some reason you didn't, that whatever you back gets refunded. It's not a flexible goal. Flexible goal would mean that Mark would be entitled to keep your money and say, hey, thanks for supporting me. Maybe I'll ship this book eventually. But that's not what this is. This is like you back it and it hits the goal. If lightning strikes, something crazy happens and it doesn't fully get funded, you would be refunded. So it's not like the money wouldn't, go back. So and then of course he would relaunch it, and you might pick a smaller goal in the future, just if you had to do that, only because even though these budgets run high, people do sometimes look twice. That's what I did with College of the Dead Book 1. I think it slowed me down a little bit because I didn't have enough of a social media, supporting me, and we did manage to make the goal, but it was like very kind of lucky and last minute-y type of deal. I even had some friends I talked to. I was like, listen, I may need you to back this thing and drop some money down, or they're like, I don't know, what, forget it. We'll see if we make it. We made it. But you do get, it can be nerve-wracking a little bit near the end. John,
be a nail biter.
John, and I'll pull up your campaign too while we're chatting. But John, can you just run through your gold stuff? Not you, John. You, Mark. You went to a gold mine, you were saying?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I lived in Colorado for a few years, and there was an old mine, a gold mine that we visited. I think it was in Pueblo. I might be wrong about that, but it's a little town in Colorado, and we just went through and checked out all the mining stuff. It was pretty cool.
Nice. So, John, do those mines ever put gold out? Why would obviously the mine would start to become ineffective. Oh, looks like we got a little action on it. Cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Right. A mine essentially is as long as it's producing, they're going to keep it open. But you have this kind of sliding scale where maybe you can't find where the vein is coming from. So you're finding gold, but you're not following the vein or the load. You know what I mean? And if financially you can't keep it up, you got to just close the mine down and say, that's it. So there could still be, a load in there somewhere. But usually what they do is that they'll find the big vein, they'll mine it out, and then essentially it's just very little after that, so they'll just close it down. But it still could have gold in it.
Yeah, because it would seem like if they set up the whole operation to mine the gold, then they definitely know that they have a lot of gold there, and they're going to get the gold out. But the whole scale of it would be all right, we're not getting as much gold as we were. We're going to stop mining. We're going to get out of this, and they start shutting down. But still, you would think it would still have some gold in it.
Oh, it absolutely does.
So you have to kind of You have to get that gold.
Yeah, you got to go at night, and you got to make sure nobody's there watching.
Yeah, like an old prospector.
No, because some people do. Because when you stake
There's
that
a
claim,
lot of money involved.
Well, what was that? What was that
it's
movie?
a lot of work
out?
involved.
Oh, what was that? There was a movie done by the I can't remember the name of it. It's a Western movie with like 6 different stories in it. And it's just got this old prospector guy who's digging a hole trying to find trying to find gold on this land, and he finally finds it, and he gets shot. Like his little buddy shoots him as soon as he finds the gold. It's pretty good. I can't remember the name of it though. It's by the guys who did the Big Lebowski, the Coen brothers. I can't remember the Ballad of Buster
enjoy
Scruggs.
that. I have to look that up.
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. That was the name of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't like that movie. I didn't like the beginning of it.
I liked it. I dug. There were some cool stories in it. The first one's definitely very musicy.
Yeah, that's why I didn't even get past that one. I was like, okay, never mind. This might surprise some people, and it might actually offend some people. But I'm not actually a fan of music.
Oh wow,
I'm surprised.
that might have been some people.
Why would that offend people?
People really like
Musicians?
music.
Because people say, "Do you like chicken? Do you like music?" Because everybody likes that, But I just don't.
I like chicken.
I can handle songs. I just can't handle music in general. It's noise. I got to turn it off.
Oh okay. Well, I mean that's not so bad.
No, that's very unusual. Like that's supervillain kind of stuff.
Supervillain.
Why when you say you can handle songs but you don't like music, John, you do say interesting things. I don't know where you get these things from. So why don't you like music? I mean, before I ask you that, have you ever met anyone else that never liked music?
Well, it's not that I don't like music. I definitely don't like anything that's not popular.
Yeah, what about is like F music? Like, wait a minute.
All right.
But I'll say I hear a song on the radio. I'll say, oh, there's a song. That's a toe tapping beat. I might turn it up a little bit, and I'll go, okay, nice. And song's over, so the radio goes off.
Do you think maybe they're overrated musicians? It's like can't be that hard.
Absolutely. Like I've never read like a bio of a musician. Those movies that come out like Walk the Line or the Temptations movie, I can't stand them. I don't want to know the life story of a musician. Who cares? I just want to know their music.
Interesting.
I'll play a song, and like if I'm at a barbecue or something and somebody starts talking to me, I turn the radio off. I can't handle noise.
Distraction. Distraction. Interesting.
I like to give people one-on-one personal time.
How about you, Mark? Have you ever run into anybody that said, "Yeah, I don't like music"? I don't think so.
He's got to be the first. I've never heard anybody that said that before. But people like what they like.
John, like you go to a club or you go to the bar, right? And then like I can handle maybe 8-9 minutes. I got to go outside after that. I got to go outside.
So very loud music, particularly, you're going to be like, listen, I'm not going to be...
It gives me that anxiety, like my shoulders raise up, and it gets me angry. It gets me hot. Like temperature-wise, I get a little frustrated and hot. And I got to get out of there.
This is how I feel about this purple owl. I was like discussing the project. I'm talking about this guy, Richard, what do you think about the design of this guy, John? Good, right?
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Really nice design, like very clean, very tight. That's why when Graham Nolan was on the other night, I really like Graham's art in that it's very clean, it's very well designed. Not a lot of noodly details, and I do love like guys that get crazy with detail and stuff too. But I just really like very clean, almost minimalist art is very cool, so confident. But that I got problems with that owl. I don't like the owl. Something's wrong. Yet I'm drawn to it.
I think we got Oliver in the chat too. He's the one that colored that.
Yeah, I saw Oliver before. Oliver, yeah, nice work, man. Beautiful coloring. Really nice work. So let's talk a little bit about the buckler too.
Hold on one second. My wife is in the chat here, and she's saying,
Mrs.
But
D.
he can listen to screaming heavy metal. Okay, here's the thing, because I do my art streams where I don't speak. I just have music playing. I don't have to have the music in my ear. I just turn that volume down, and the people in the audience can hear it. I'm drawing in silence.
They can listen to it. This is something I'm going to have to explore. I'm going to have to have some reverse hypnosis or something like that. where I hypnotize myself. I guess that would be reverse. Adam had a bad experience with the Tootsie Pop as a kid. That is possible, or there may be another reason for it. I did paint an owl as a kid. Now that you mention, my mother would support me doing anything. Like her son could never do wrong. So we were in shop class back when they had that, and we made our own ceramic stuff. I made a dog, which I still have. I will get it tomorrow. And I made this owl, and the teacher was like, "You can," in shop class, like, paint it any way you want. Paint it any way you want. I was like, well, I'm gonna paint it like a fucking idiot then. So I painted it bright red. But I really did. I wanted to, like, because as a kid, like, well, really, we can do whatever we want, and yeah, you could do whatever you want. So I painted it bright red. It was like this big. Yeah, like that big, not giant, but whatever, good size, and black polka dots and a red Z on its back, like a Zorro thing. And the teacher hated me, and it was like, "I'm going to give you an F," because he thought, like, I guess he thought I was disrespecting him or something.
Gave you an F after he told you to do whatever you want.
He did, but I mean, he must have meant within some guardrails, and I guess people maybe screw with him. He's probably got his own childhood. Maybe he has an owl story as well.
Maybe he has a polka dot. There's an actual phobia for polka dots.
He could have a polka dot story. He could have a
or
Zorro
he just
problem.
really hated Zorro. Yeah.
It could be a combination of things. So I told my mother, and my mother was like, "Oh, no. She's like, "No way are they getting away with that." And she went and she ripped into him. And I think he raised me up to a B or something like that. You really can't, like, go against my mother's kids, like, and to a fault. It's like maybe we should learn a lesson of, like, well, make sure you know the scope. Make sure you know the scope of work and that communication is clear. Maybe that's why I'm so clear, or try to be, when I work with creative people. Dojo Kun Comics says, "Did you get scared of the chicks at Hooters?" No, I have scared, I think, a few chicks at Hooters for obvious reasons. But no, I think Hooters is great. I went to Hooters for a business meeting. I met this client, and I was like, well, let's go to Hooters. We went to Hooters, and, we talked business, whatever. And he was like, and then, tell you what, next time we get together, I'll take you out somewhere, fancy and, somewhere nice. We don't have to go to Hooters. And I was like, yeah, I like Hooters. I have no problem with it. I'm a very, like, simple guy that way. It's like, if they're going to have pretty girls, like, running around and wearing little outfits and bringing you chicken, and who doesn't like that?
I don't know. I went to Hooters only one time for my buddy's bachelor party, and our waitress was like some super, super little tiny skinny girl with no butt and no breasts.
Oh yeah, sometimes you can't get good girls at Hooters, so you have to, like,
what's going on?
pace
The
that.
thing is, when it comes to owls, I was actually really scared of owls when I was young, because there's this folklore in Mexican culture called La Chusa. And it's about this lady that's like an owl the size of an old lady, essentially, that sits up in a tree and will murder you.
Jesus.
And so you don't walk out at night.
Wait. What? I mean, I understand, like, these scary stories and stuff that we tell kids, but what's the moral of the story?
Oh, the moral of the story is you don't go out by yourself at night.
Okay.
Because she got a basket on her back. The owl. It's a humongous owl with the face of an old lady, but she still has I guess beakish features. But she'll take you and put you in her basket.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Can you believe I've never been on a live stream with Michael Bancroft? It's unspeakable. Really? It's terrible. We got to do that.
He's a good guy.
Do that. Yeah, Michael, we got to do that sometime soon. Oh, well, you know what? Maybe I have been I think I have been on a stream with him, on a promo stream on the Wayncast channel. I think we were talking about his gorgeous book with him. So yeah, we have to do that. But I'm going to be on streams with everybody now. We got to get out there and have some fun. That's a terrifying story, and there's a lot going on with owls. I'm looking forward to, like, getting my little cute dog out, though, that I painted. I mean, God knows how many years ago could that have been? Like a ridiculous number of years, like not 40 years ago. Well, yeah, the Lucent. by Michael Bancroft. Very nice book and very successful book. And also much props to Michael Bancroft for building a very cool, successful channel and kind of his own CG community. Very cool.
Yeah.
It also shows it's like the thing that I think Michael did the best is he's just consistent and went with what works. And another show tonight, I'm sure. It just seems like it's every night he's doing it. It's fantastic. Yeah, I don't know what my thing is about owls.
Well, my wife hates owls because she heard one time that owls were a bad omen. But now it's every single owl she ever sees.
I think they are a bad omen. What good stuff happens when owls come around?
See, my wife's the exact opposite. She loves owls. We've got owls all over the house. She's got owl towels. We have an owl. What do you call it? The pan holder thing. The pot holder. We've got tons of that stuff. I don't know. I don't know. My wife seems to love them, so we've got them all over the house.
Yeah, we see an owl. We're driving around at night or whatever. We're coming back from getting something to eat. She sees an owl, and all of a sudden, for the next 2 days, she won't go anywhere because she's gonna get in a car accident. She thinks.
Oh yeah, it's like a vulture. I'm here to tell you
when I
that you will now die.
I had to have been 20, 21, or 22. I was driving home from work one night. It had to have been 1 o'clock in the morning. It was back when I lived in Daytona Beach. And I'm driving down this kind of back road to so I can speed, essentially. But I'm coming around this corner, and there's this giant owl just standing in the middle of the road. And as I turn the corner, like the lights hit it, and it looks at my car and just flies away. It was huge. I'd never seen an owl that big, but they get pretty damn big. I could see like a folklore being based off of like giant owls because they're pretty damn big.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah,
I saw these owls. I was on the border of Mexico, right over there by Mexicali and whatever the other town is, and they have these little mounds of dirt. These owls live in the ground, like not in a tree. They live in holes in the ground. Like remember that show Meerkat Manor?
Yeah,
just like that. They pop out of the hole in the ground like this, and they hop and then fly away. The most adorable little owls. You could fit them in the palm of your hand.
I've never seen that before. I got to check that out.
So they're cute.
Wild.
Yeah, super cute. I would get one and put it on my shoulder. It would be fantastic. Because they're real tiny.
Would love that. Mrs. Diller would not go for that.
She wouldn't bother me anymore. It'd be a win-win situation.
I have a suggestion about the Buckler because he's an anti-hero. Yes?
Mm-mm.
He's a hero?
He's a villain.
He's a straight-up villain.
He's a straight-up villain.
He should hate music. Somebody in CG should definitely add that. And I hate music.
I can't. He's already a throwback. He drives a Trans Am and he blasts.
All right, well, we got to put that in development. That's obscure, and you can explain it as well.
He really likes Journey.
He likes Journey, the song. Oh, the group.
He's a group, yeah.
All right, that's cool. I knew somebody that liked Journey a lot, but that was many years ago. God knows what happened to her. The Buckler. Do you still not know who Rich Buckler is? I have to find that.
I did look it up. Yeah,
you look him up.
I did look up Rich Buckler. Yeah.
He's dead now, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him. Good artist. Created Deathlock. Screwed me out of $15,000. But that's not a story.
What the hell with him then? What?
Yeah, but he's a good artist. And maybe it wasn't him, and maybe my other friend who's also dead now. So they're dead. I mean, so let him keep the money.
Make sure to include that in your prayers. Remind God what he did to you.
He did. He helped me with publishing the early books. They did. But you got to watch out who's helping you because sometimes they run away with your money. So that's a good lesson to learn. I was 15. I need to learn the lesson. So
you should probably write that down.
Yeah, don't have other people handling your money as much as you can. But the Buckler, you can always trust the Buckler because he's a villain. The Buckler is an epic dark comedy that follows a man's fall from grace and glorious rise to infamy. I like that. Fall from grace and rise to infamy. Mm-hmm. All right, we went over this the other night, but in summary, this looks really cool. You've got a painted cover.
That's still available.
Still available. People got some cash to spend.
If anybody wants to back the Ultra Megazoid tier.
What the hell is an Ultra Megazoid?
The $2,000 tier.
The $2,000 tier. Wow. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But if you like the cover, you can just back the book like a normal person.
I mean,
not
if you want to be a
digitally.
normal person, I guess. You know?
Yeah, if you want to lower your standards down to
If
normal,
you want to be super cool and my best friend forever, then back
two
the.
grand. Maybe you can just give him, I think, $500. You won't get all that stuff, but just give him $500 and see what it gives you
Yeah, we'll see.
back. Maybe a piece of gold. How many pages is the Buckler?
It's 50 pages.
50 pages, full color,
Mm-hmm.
plus cover. And I like what. Talk about how he turned from potential hero or sidekick into villain. That's a cool story.
Yeah, he was like a Phoenix Jones type character. He'd go around and try to like help people out, stop bar fights, rescue cats out of trees for old ladies and that kind of thing.
Mm.
And he was pretty well known in the neighborhood. Like there's this guy George that always shows up in a bunch of scenes. Wherever there's something happening, he just happens to be there, going, "Hey, looking good, Buckler," you know, that kind of deal.
Mm.
But you know, he'd meet the same people every night on his rounds. He would have an alarm set on his phone. It says "Time for Justice," you know, and
That's cute.
and so he would do that. But then he heard, because he used to really idolize the Canadian Shield, this real superhero, this big, massive, beefy superhero with, you know, almost godlike powers. And he used to try to emulate him. He wore the same colors essentially. And what happened one night, he found out that the Canadian Shield was in his town in Winnipeg looking for a sidekick. And
So that was his big chance.
that was his one chance, you know.
He
So
could have gotten in. Yep.
he was trying to do, you know, he was trying to show up and show out. He was being a little flamboyant. He was doing backflips. You know, he wasn't being very, you know, Batman calculated. You know, if you would have gotten here, you know, you would have shaved 2 seconds off. No, he was doing, you know, gainers and backflips and stuff, doing parkour up and down the buildings. And he ended up fumbling and bumbling and knocking into the assailant, which then in turn got the assailant to stick the victim in the neck with a knife, which essentially just ruined everything. So that real hero had to come down and tell him, you know, and essentially be the hero, save the day, and tell him, "You're trash, you're nobody, you're nothing, you need to stop what you're doing, you're terrible at what you do, I don't want to see you doing this stuff in this town again, and if I see you doing stuff in this town again, I'm coming back for your ass." And he rips the cape off his back, and
You don't deserve to wear that cape. That's what you said, right?
yeah.
I just, guys, as I think that's very cool. I like that concept that a hero takes an aspiring sidekick's cape away, saying you don't deserve that cape, like taking away a cop's badge.
Yeah, essentially, I wanted it to be like, you know, in the movies where they would go to the military and they rip the badge off the chest, and
Yeah,
the little flap hanging.
it's a cool premise. It's a cool premise to like make as an aspect, and it's part of his origin story. So then the Buckler responds to that very positively, or how does he respond to that?
No, not at all. Well, the thing is, you could see in the image, in the ash can where he does rip his cape off. I wanted to make it look as infantilizing as possible. He's like holding his chest like a woman who got like her bra taken off or something, you know, or like her bikini taken away. He's like holding himself like this as his cape's getting ripped off. But what happens is he's kind of sitting there, you know, wondering what could I have done? What did I do? And he hears laughter. He hears people laughing at him, and he turns and he sees these two girls that are just chuckling at him at the situation they witnessed, and he loses it because he is kind of not 100% developed as a human male. He's not a man. Essentially, he's a failure to launch. He's arrested development, and he can't handle somebody laughing at him like that because he thinks that he deserves to be a hero, you know. And he goes through a little bit of a mental break, and during that time, he ends up strangling that girl to death.
Yeah, one of the girls that was laughing at him.
Yeah, so he has to go. He realizes what he did immediately, throws up all over his hands, and he has to leave town. You know, so he just takes off. That's when he went down to as far down south as he safely wanted to go, which was as far down the United States as you can go, which is Brownsville, Texas. He didn't want to make that jump across the border into Mexico, so he just kind of stayed there. And it was there where he teamed up with some guy that really puts him through the paces, becomes like a surrogate father figure, but in the worst way. He essentially tortures him and trains him to become like a very great fighter, because the guy's a kind of like a failed boxing coach, but he's also in league with the Mexican mafia. So he has him running errands and being muscle essentially, and he becomes a very dangerous person because of that. He actually becomes a very adept fighter. And so when he does come back, this is his return to Winnipeg to kind of reclaim his position in the town.
It's cool. So this book is color. These girls are black and white in this picture, but the whole book is color. It's called The Buckler, and I know the link has been in the chat. You can easily find it in Indiegogo. I don't think I have this one in my description, but check it out. It is funded, and John is working hard on this. John, we're scheduling to ship this April 2021.
April, and also, if you get this book, you are also getting an additional book. Because we passed the 10,000 stretch goal, which was you get a 28-page one-shot, The Temple of Polar Twilight. So that entire book is getting printed up separate, bagged and boarded separed, and mailed with. So you get 2 books.
All right, 2 books for the price of 1. Guys, definitely check out The Buckler. And, John is going to be around a lot more. And he's going to be a great CG asset. It's just great to see more people in CG kind of getting to know everybody, talking to their projects, and jumping in and telling stories about gold and owls when appropriate. So we appreciate you being able to jump on with us, John.
When appropriate.
When appropriate, not at all times. Grave Robbers is a cool book. We sold another book. Really appreciate you guys supporting this campaign. And again, this is a fixed goal. So you're going to get your book. If it doesn't fund for some reason, you will get your money back. This is not a flexible goal.
This is a no-risk situation, much like buying a Honda.
That's like buying a Honda, like a rich wife with no prenup.
There you go.
Things like that. It's not a chance. There's no chance taken. This is a kind of a guarantee. And you know what else you guys can really do that's a huge help if you would, because I know you guys have already backed. And there's some people look at it and just say, hey, this one's not for me. But if we can just share it on social media at the very least, let's get it out on Twitter. And when you do it, let's hashtag Comicsgate to help promote Comicsgate. I like to do hashtag Comicsgate, hashtag comics when I'm sharing it. There's also somebody else I kind of want to mention tonight. You guys all know who this is, I'm sure, if you're on Twitter and you're into comics. But, much respect for, and let's always try to support comics for everyone. That's Tampa too.
Absolutely. That dude's amazing.
He's great. His link is in my description. So if for some reason you don't already follow him. He's also promoting us on Minds, and he's on Parler when Parler comes back up. I don't know what he does on Facebook, if anything. I know him a little bit personally, just kind of got to know each other and talk comics and stuff. And he's a freaking great guy. He really is. He's also a backer of a lot of our campaigns. But as you can see, he puts all this time into making these multiple campaign tweets. He schedules them and gets them out. And just like this kind of thing of somebody that goes out and helps promote these campaigns,
Dude, when you got your book, Grave Robbers, on one of Tampa's lists, didn't you finally think I made it?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Grave Robbers is right on here. It's right there. This is so basically he doesn't put stuff on there that he doesn't think is cool. So lucky for me, I'm in pretty good with Tampa. And you can just kind of see my vision is not so fantastic, but this is looks like an Illustrator Monk project. Now he does also put some Kickstarter titles there as well. Whatever he thinks is good, and he wants to support creators. And he's tried videos. He's tried doing trailers, very basic trailers and stuff. And there you go. There's Grave Robbers saying thanks, Tampa.
Yeah,
I'm gonna like that. I didn't share this. I can't even share.
No, because me and some of the other guys that do comics, we sit in off-air hangouts, and we'll go through Tampa's list, and we'll kind of squint our eyes and see, which one do you think has the best impactful cover? You know what I mean? Because we just scroll his stuff because he's the place to go to for all these projects. He's great.
Really,
yeah, I have a group room that I asked him to join. I'm like, I want you to, because he wasn't part of any of the Twitter chats. He was separated from other people. And, just kind of doing his own thing and then occasionally direct messaging. I'm like, you're cool people, man. You belong in one of our group chats. So I don't know if he wants to be in other ones. I don't think it's a big secret or anything. But sometimes people ask questions and he gives this whole course on this is how you can use TweetDeck and schedule tweets on Minds. I was seeing something he was explaining today and I didn't get a chance to tell him. I hope you save, what you write up and describe, because it's, he has a professional career. He's very organized and he understands, how to present work very well. His work is very high quality work. I just kind of looking at like how much we can all kind of collaborate and help each other to take our projects to, just get them out to market. There was another guy who reached out to me to be on the show, whose work was great, but you could just kind of tell like he wasn't really familiar with how all the Twitter stuff works and how like the YouTube shows work, because you'd never done it before. And I totally don't mind spending time with anybody, trying to help them, get started and understand how stuff works. I can have them on the show. My show is not like a super gigantic show, but people are starting to find it more and more. And I am scheduling one person every night, and I'm trying to get on pretty much just about everybody as much as I can. But in any case, I was explaining it to him, and I'm realizing, like, because I realized this like about a year ago, like there's a lot that we don't know when we first get involved in promoting within Comicsgate, working within Comicsgate. We don't know how the YouTube thing works. A lot of people don't know how the Twitter vibe and like the Twitter system works and like some of the etiquette and things like that. So hopefully we can all kind of take the time to help each other out a little bit. Tampa, I think, is able to do more and more because everybody loves him. So yeah, I just think there's so much more we can keep doing. We just have to kind of, keep this great attitude going and helping each other out. So that's a long way of saying when you guys share stuff on social media, everybody can be like Tampa and, or in comics for everyone. Everybody can be like him and just do a little bit. You share him, you share a single project. And, I hope when people come on my show and I help them, I hope you'll help me with my mermaids, but help everybody, support everybody as much as you can. You don't have to retweet everybody. You don't certainly have to retweet, things like that you don't like and you don't want to be associated with. Maybe you don't like mermaids. Maybe you're just not that kind of man. Maybe you like monsters that eat mermaids. I don't know, you sicko.
Maybe you like mermen.
Yeah, maybe you're one of those guys. Not that there's anything wrong with that, as they used to say in Seinfeld. I moved to Florida. I was in Florida for like 10 years or whatever. And they didn't know Jewish people. They never met them before. I'm Jewish. And they didn't know anyone from New York.
What?
Yeah. They never met anyone before. So it's like, and they never met. And they were like, but you're like that guy from Seinfeld. You're like that Jerry Seinfeld guy. And I did kind of dress like him back then with his button-down shirts and stuff. It was kind of funny. But they were very fun. They were very cool people. Yeah, I miss Florida. I live in New York now. I really miss Florida. May have to head back because the election went the wrong way. That's basically why. The Mermaids, you guys might have heard of also. This is my new project. It is funded. We're finishing production on it now. It's scheduled to ship April 2021, but we'll probably ship it early because it is pretty much done, except we're doing maps. We're going to my production person, she's a cartographer. I didn't even know that was a thing.
You're doing like bathymetric maps, like of underwater?
Yeah, well, she's doing, I don't even know what bathymetric means. I know what Baphomet is. He's a bad guy. Yeah, well, there's like 5 major kingdoms of the mermaids, and it's all underwater, and they're located like some certain distances from each other, and that's part of the story. And there's this big rift underwater and that they can't cross and all that jazz, but it is part of the story. You can get the story visually. The story is really well written. There are like 30 characters. It's a massive adventure story, and it really is very carefully and very well done. But it is cool. It does add dimension to a fantasy world if you have a map, and then of course it adds dimension if you have lots and lots of character designs, and if you do extra character backgrounds and things like that. So in our 48-page book, it's going to be the comic, but we're going to be adding a bunch of pages of the additional maps and all this other world building stuff. And it's going to be cool. I want people to see it. I think a month after we ship it, we're going to also email everybody an additional, a whole separate PDF world building book, because it's JJ Jackson who does my production. She worked at Valiant, and then Marvel, and then first Marvel, then Valiant, and then Defiant with Jim Shooter. So she's like very into this world, but like she's like, you have all this development stuff, you have to organize it all into its own book. And I'm like, JJ, I got to get this book out. And she's like, no, we'll put it out as a PDF like the month after, because there are some spoilers and things like that. So it's fantastic. So if you want to check it out, this is our making of book as well, a 100-page book where it's got the full text of the script and all the rough layouts, another 20 character designs. And we'll do a night where we talk about the mermaids. That'll be kind of fun. And we can mess with that. I've already done it a couple times, but I really want to promote some other people's projects as well. So you can check that out at epicmermaids.com. There's a link in the description as well. Really happy to see some action on Grave Robbers, guys. Let's try to share it on social media. I'll also try to ring Tompa's bell and see if he's got any ideas of what else we can do to promote. And I definitely appreciate you guys. John, I appreciate you jumping in. And
I already shared it out. Leave me alone.
Well, you share it out again. Has Leg Kick shared it out in the last 5 minutes? I don't know. What does Pam's Master Dan say? Dan says, don't boobs make it harder to stay underwater? Just saying. I don't know. I'm not a girl. I don't swim underwater.
It's actually a pretty good question. I don't know if that's helps or not.
If any of us knows, does anybody know any girls that we could ask this?
I'd call my wife in, but I'm pretty sure she'd yell at me for it.
My wife is in the chat. She doesn't even know. She said she's going to go look it up.
Oh. She's going to look it up. Thank you, Mrs. Diller Draws. That would be awesome to find out. Boobs float. All right. Bancroft says they float.
There we go.
Has anybody here been?
I thought it was real boobs sink and fake boobs float.
This sounds like it's worth a whole show. It definitely sounds, if it's boob related.
We got to get to the bottom of this.
The mermaids do.
I'm going to have to do hours of research.
Looking at pictures, videos. Yeah, this is worth it. Okay. Somebody asked the woman. My wife says they do make it harder.
Oh, there you go.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. What an opportunity. You can't let that go.
Oh, we got competing things though. We got Bancroft saying they float and him saying they make it harder. Oh no, I see what he's saying.
I think it's harder if they float.
Makes it harder to okay.
Well, you know what? They're gonna have to just deal with it. It's life. Not everything always works.
I guess that's true.
Upstate is nice, leg kick. The problem is it's still New York. I mean, at this point, you want to trust your governor wherever you're living in the United States. You have to think about it a little bit and just see like what your quality of life is going to be. It's just crazy times, but a great time to back Grave Robbers, a great time to be into CG, a great time to spend $2,000 on the highest tier on the buckler.
That's right.
The right time. If not, maybe just share the buckler. Don't give him any money. He actually has a digital that's pretty damn cheap.
Hey.
Michael Bancroft is talking about chicks. Yeah, no.
My wife's out of control. Don't listen to her. She's one of those people that doesn't actually, when they go swimming, she doesn't go underwater. She just splashes around the top.
Because of owls? Is it because of owls?
It's because of the owls at the bottom of the pool, probably.
Guys, if you back the buckler at the highest level, that's great. Otherwise, the regular level is pretty reasonable, $30 plus a reasonable shipping.
If you back the buckler at the highest level, I'll come over and teach you how to swim.
I bet he'll take your gold and he might leave you dead. So
just don't show me the gold and you'll be fine.
Don't show him the gold because he gets gold crazy. He gets very gold crazy.
Get it safe before he comes.
Yeah,
over.
Eric, you're a Florida man. Yeah, so like Governor DeSantis, he's pretty good. Man, you almost got that other governor. Didn't he get in a little trouble? That other governor in Florida? He got in some trouble. Potential governor of Florida, not other governor. He got himself in some trouble. He was found in a hotel room, like naked on crack, and which basically doesn't put him out of the party. He could still make it. He's going to need a couple of years of working on things.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what he does. He can always find a job with Hunter Biden.
There you go.
He could. There's a lot of ways of making extra money, and you guys should always be out looking to make some extra money. Dan wants to swim with an owl. I don't even know what you're talking about. All right, guys, we're gonna call it a night. We'll see you guys again soon. Mark, thanks so much for spending time. Congratulations on Grave Robbers. We're gonna push Grave Robbers as much as we can, try to make it happen. If not, we're gonna come back stronger than ever before and do twice whatever this number it ends at, no matter what. But also, I would definitely think about adding that cool purple image of Preston and Oliver's, just so that when people go by, like something catches their eye. Women always catch our eyes.
There you go, man.
Dan, good night. Eric, good night. Guys, thanks so much for spending time with us. We will see you again soon. And you know how I am. If I don't see you guys, I will miss you. So I'll see you again tomorrow night. We will have Simon Sim Poitier talking his Natverse stuff. Have a great night.